Should Secretary Acosta be fired? Should he resign? I'm in Thorntonberry. Should Acosta resign? This is the reaction I'm getting, but you guys have a president who said, I'll move on her like a bitch. He's not gonna fire him. He's right in his league. How'd you guys become the party of perverts, predators, and enablers? You put a rapist on the Supreme Court. Thanks. How are you?
I think I'm all right.
Good. How did Republicans become the party of rapists and predators and enablers?
Well, I'm not sure what party you belong to, but obviously you become a part of a group of obfuscators, liars, and misleaders. So
I don't think
I
so.
don't
You
have
got
a whole lot of
Acosta.
answer to you.
You got Acosta who's holding on to his job. Y'all defended Kavanaugh. The president was on tape saying, I'll move on her like a bitch.
Are you saying Epstein is a Republican?
No, I didn't say anything about Epstein.
There you go. There's the rapist.
I mean,
Good,
I know.
solid Democrat.
I know he had
You wanna
28
talk about
women.
Bill Clinton?
I know he had
When
28
did you
women
raise
with
this
Donald
during
Trump.
Bill Clinton?
Look, if Bill Clinton did something wrong, let him pay. But Donald Trump had 28 women with Jeffrey Epstein. So, I mean, you can bring up Clinton all you want, but
Well, that's what
you guys
say, but
made Hastert your Speaker of the House. He was a predator. Take care, Congressman. Congressman, should Acosta resign? Secretary Acosta. Look, how did you guys become the party of enablers and predators and rapists? Between President Trump saying, I'll move on her like a bitch, Kavanaugh, you had Denny Hastert as your Speaker of the House, who ended up being a rapist, a child rapist. Acosta gave a 13-month sentence to Epstein and promised not to investigate any further. How did Republicans get to a point where they are defending so many predators? Are you ashamed of your party? Is that why you're not saying anything? I would be ashamed of my party. I would be ashamed of nominating a man that said, I moved on her like a bitch, and supporting him at every turn. You got no problem with any of that? Thanks, Congressman. Congressman, should Secretary Acosta resign or be fired?
Hey, we're good right now.
Hey, look, what I need to know is, how did the Republican Party become the party of perverts, predators,
You know, don't you
enablers,
have pending
rapists?
charges, or you're a convicted felon, aren't you?
That's a good one.
I recall that from the last time we talked. And you did the same thing. I think you're convicted. I don't think you're an actual media
President
person.
said, I'll
I
move
think
on
you're
her like a
actually convicted
bitch,
felon.
right? The president
So I
said,
generally don't talk to
your
convicted
president
felons
said, I'll move on her like a
about
bitch,
substance.
and you kowtow to him. You
I
think
don't
he's a
talk
great
to
guy.
convicted felons.
He did that at your age. He
I
didn't
don't
do that
talk
at a
to
young
convicted
man,
felons.
as a young man. Take care. Quick before you go in, should Acosta resign?
No, I think more facts have to come out. We have to avoid a rush of judgment.
Look, he gave a sweetheart deal. The facts are in.
Actually,
13 months
no, there's
for
many facts
raping
we can go
scores
into.
and scores of
First
young
of all,
women.
It was a state prosecution which he took away from them, and it was proved at every level of the Justice Department. So,
Let me ask you, how did Republicans go from the party of character and family values to the party of, I moved on her like a bitch, with a first lady that did a lesbian porn shoot? How did we get here?
I guess maybe they're following Bill Clinton.
Speaking of the president, how did Republicans go from the party of family values to the party of a president who said, I moved on her like a bitch, and has a wife who did a lesbian pornography shoot?
I don't know anything about it. So
How did Republicans end up in that place?
I don't know anything about it. So
All right, take care. Should Secretary Acosta resign? Look, the Republican Party used to be the party of family values, character matters. Now you're the party of a president who said, I moved on her like a bitch. Isn't that embarrassing for you guys? You've got a first lady that did a lesbian pornography shoot. Isn't that embarrassing for the United States? Look, it's not hard. Most Americans don't have any trouble at all saying that a prosecutor that gave a sweetheart deal to a man who raped scores of pubescent girls should not be working at the highest levels of American government. Why can't a single Republican say that? What happened to you guys? I moved on her like a bitch. That's your president. You guys used to be the party of family values.
What an embarrassment.
Today you're the party of I moved on her like a bitch.
You are such an embarrassment.
I don't think I am. I think you're embarrassed. I think you're ashamed. Take care. Long time no see.
Is it Mark?
Mike.
Mike, how's it going, man?
Good, man.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Hey, should Secretary Acosta resign or be fired?
Let's have that conversation inside.
Should Secretary Acosta resign or be fired?
Have you got your calendar?
How did you guys go from the party of family values to the party supporting a guy who says, I moved on her like a bitch? Take care, Congressman. Just wondering if you think Acosta should resign. You were a former prosecutor.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Acosta is one of the smartest lawyers that I know. He was an excellent United States attorney. We served together. And you know, I'm sure that he made the decisions that he made based upon, you know, his legal abilities and his professionalism. And so I will trust in his judgment in the decisions that he made in that case.
See, I think that puts you on the opposite side of Americans who don't have any trouble at all saying that a man who gave a sweetheart deal to another man who raped scores of women,
he made
girls.
a professional decision based upon the facts and the law that he had at the time. So
he didn't follow the law at the time. There's victim rights that he totally ignored.
You know, I think he followed his best professional judgment at the time.
Thank you, Congressman. Should Secretary Acosta resign or be fired? Look, nobody's answering me up here. What I'm trying to figure out is how the Republican Party became the party of predators, perverts, and enablers. You got a president who said, I moved on her like a bitch. You guys installed Kavanaugh in office, the rapist. You know, you voted for Denny Hastert, who ended up being a child rapist, to be your Speaker of the House. You had Mark Foley. I mean, the list just got. Scott Desjarlings forced his girlfriend into an abortion. He's one of your colleagues. The list doesn't end with you guys. How did you become the party of perverts, predators, rapists, enablers? I mean, this isn't hard for normal people to say. It isn't hard for normal people to say that a guy who gave a sweetheart deal to a child rapist should be fired. That's not difficult for normal human beings to say. Why is it so difficult for Republicans to say that?